What's up, basketball sickos? Deuce and Mo reacting to what just transpired in Game 4 between the Rockets and the Warriors in San Francisco tonight. Golden State now up 3-1 after a 109-106 victory, and the Rockets have to be kicking themselves for this one. But we need to give some love to the Golden State Warriors. And I think first things first, for me at least, it's Jimmy effing Butler. This guy's just a dog. It's just unbelievable what he does. And honestly, kind of crazy that on a night where his old team, Miami, gets eliminated in, 4 games?
Oh, my God.
Down by as many as 60 points to the Cavs.
Awful.
He comes back after missing 1 game. And he comes out there. He's playing his ass off. In the second half, has 23 points, a huge rebound late. And I feel like his presence out there, everyone fed off of it tonight.
Yeah. I mean, the huge rebound late, but then even going back to that shot, Dylan Brooks fouled him. They challenged it, you know.
Morgan, what was Dylan Brooks thinking?
I don't know. Well, I even said this to you when we were looking at that too. I'm like, man, there's going to be some refs out there that call that marginal contact, that other hand, right?
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me is like, it feels like that play would have been subjective depending on who's fouling, all the different things, whatever. Either way, I thought that was deemed a foul in the NBA. And so Jimmy Butler goes to the free throw line, 12 for 12 at the free throw line tonight. So You talk about that big rebound, those big made free throws there at the end, just some huge moments from him, the energy that he brings, the will that he just like carries on his shoulder. I mean, he's like falling down, holding his injured area. Because I don't know what area it's.
It ended up being a deep glute muscle contusion.
Okay, so it is the butt.
He's not feeling good. Okay, like he's not. You could tell early on, and maybe it was just like, hey, it's stiff. I've been off for a minute. I'm getting moving a little bit. He didn't look comfortable at all.
No,
There was one play in the first half where he got the ball at the 3-point line, no one around him, and
in
wasn't
transition,
even looking to shoot the 3. And you're like, oh God, he's going to be able to give them anything offensively tonight. But then he ends up with 27
in 40 minutes.
He plays 40 minutes in this game, and like I'm not trying to make. I don't think it's making too much of it. Like he definitely gave this team like a lift when he showed up to the Golden State Warriors. But like specifically tonight, I don't know, man. When you have a teammate that's just fighting through shit, when everyone's kind of like nicked up this time of year, they're going through it. It's a physical series, and you see your guys show up and then show out in that way. That was a big time performance.
And because they face some adversity as well. Not only, I can't wait to talk about the Rockets because I think even their performance tonight was so much fun. There's going to be so many things that they're going to be so mad at themselves about. But you think about the adversity for the Warriors with Steph not being able to get things going. He finished 2 of 8 from 3-point land, 17 points. But then Draymond Green in foul trouble. Early on, it felt like early on in this game. I know you have the exact time somewhere for me. I keep forgetting it.
Well, I think after the flagrant foul that happened late in that second quarter, he ended up getting his 4th.
Yep.
Because I think we were all surprised watching the third quarter. 8:06, Draymond picks up a foul, and they say his 5th. I'm like, how did he get 5? Like, where'd the 4th came? It came in that flagrant foul situation. So Draymond comes out at the 8:06 mark of the third quarter.
Yep.
He does not come back into this game until 7:51 of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So that huge gap kind of shifted things in a big way because Sengun was outstanding during that stretch for the most part. He missed some gimmies around the rim. Sometimes he kills me with that stuff, but this guy's 22 years old.
Yeah.
So talented. And when Draymond was out, they were searching. They tried. Trace Jackson Davis played through a stretch.
It was, it was not. Yeah, it wasn't good. They couldn't find their flow defensively. They couldn't find a way to stop Sengun getting in the paint. But also, like Thompson had some really nice drives there at the end as well. Spin move, find a way to stay in the air, finish at the rim. Even with Quentin Post right there, it didn't matter what their rim protection was. There wasn't enough protection. So points in the paint as well as I'm talking about that for the Rockets, 48 to the Warriors 28, right? So like they're getting the paint, especially in this time that Draymond's out, adversity is hitting, the momentum is shifting. Curry still can't get a 3 to go or, like just get things going. And it just felt like we keep mentioning the other guys for the Golden State Warriors really getting things going. from the start of the game in this one,
Oh
too.
yeah, Pajemski and Draymond knocking down threes
Mm-hmm.
early in this first quarter. The Warriors got off to an outstanding start. They were leading 13-2. It expanded 16-4, and you're like, "Are we about to see a blowout?" No, the Rockets got to go. They closed on a 22-12 run. But to your point, Morgan, yeah, that was huge for those guys. Like Pajemski was massive. I
Yep.
mean, Curry. I think the Rockets' game plan, and it was especially after what Curry did to them last game 3 when Butler didn't play, was like, we're gonna make other guys beat us.
Yeah.
And tonight, like Pajemski was like, yeah, okay, fine. If I'm gonna get some of these looks, he hit 6 threes in this game. He was 6 of 11. He was making the hustle plays, playing good defense. He had that nice defensive moment on Fred VanVleet late, forcing a shot clock violation. So his impact was massive in this game. And Buddy had some. Buddy, it's a roller coaster ride. We all know this.
It's a roller coaster.
We know this, but he had some big shots too in there.
Yeah, he not only did he have some big shots, but I thought he even had some big defensive moments where his like effort was really coming through, where he's picking away the ball and just putting on that perimeter pressure. And it was like, you step back for a second, you're like, Buddy's doing that, and probably because he was feeling good with everything else that was going on. So yeah, having the other guys step up. I mean, like if I was going through the box score tonight and I didn't know the end of the game, what the final score was, I'd be like, no, like the Rockets won this one.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. I think there's just so many things from this game tonight that if you're a Rockets fan, you're just like, this is the game we had. Well, you're probably thinking you should have beat him without Jimmy. Okay, fair. Steph, though, one of the greats of all time, put on a performance that was like, wow. Yeah. And our offense was struggling. Okay, so game 4 comes. VanVleet finally gets it going. Hits 8 threes. They get him in that high pick and roll, and then he's in a rhythm. It was nasty. Setting that screen up really high,
really high, and he was feeling good from deep. It's so many different and just like quick. I mean, we've seen him do this before, but to see it so consistently in a playoff game where you would think that like Steve Kerr and his crew would just make those huge adjustments, they still had those mishaps, whether it was Buddy or Pajemski or Curry.
Yeah, Buddy had a miscommunication with Jimmy where he didn't switch out and they left VanVleet wide open.
But that one too, I even said to you on that one, he was trying to make sure that he was showing enough, stunting
Jimmy
Alperen
was attached to
Sengun.
Sengun, though.
And he was, but I think Buddy just thought he needed that help because Sengun was starting to go off. But it's like VanVleet's going off from beyond the arc.
And Pajemski helped off once too, where I think Trace Jackson Davis was defending Sengun in the post, and Pajemski helps off VanVleet. I'm like, he's not 1 for 13 tonight.
Yeah.
Like he's you cannot leave this guy open.
Yeah.
And they did that a little too much. But okay, so you're talking about like from a Houston perspective. Yeah. You get 25 from VanVleet, 31 and 10, along with 5 assists from Sengun tonight. You hold Golden State to 42% shooting. You hold Steph to 17, and Draymond is only able to play 30 minutes. You're going, I like our chances tonight. Oh, and Jimmy's hurt.
Yeah. Banged up.
Dude.
Whatever you want to say.
It's brutal. And they had their chances. And there's like so many things you could point to tonight. First things first. It's not a surprise because they were the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. But come playoff time, it's magnified. In a close game, you take 31 free throws. You get 9 more free throw attempts than Golden State. You go 19 of 31. 61% at the line.
Those
tonight.
moments, those shots, those free throws. It was huge, but it became even bigger at the end of the game. I'm sorry, not at the end. It was under 5 minutes that they started going to Steven Adams.
Yeah, 4:27 to go. They bring in Looney, and I'm like, that's taking Draymond out for Looney right now? Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that? And Kerr was like, we got to get Steven Adams off the floor. Because that was a huge thing in this game, is like just from a rebounding perspective. And I think Golden State actually did a little better than you would think. And they actually won the second chance point battle 21-14.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy. Because it didn't feel like that the whole game. But they wanted to get Steven Adams off the floor. And Steven Adams, one of the unsung heroes for the Houston Rockets.
Absolutely.
Tonight. This guy was unbelievable. The fact that they ended up playing him, how many minutes he ended up playing? 26 minutes. Rebounding, but the weak side help was crucial.
multiple times.
He had 4 blocks, but
Yeah.
it was so many other plays at the rim he impacted. A huge reason why Golden State was 14 of 31 in the paint tonight.
He altered so many different possessions for the Golden State Warriors. But even like you said, the protection of the rim from Steven Adams alone, not only is it just this energy boost when he's blocking the shit out of some of these shots, especially late in the game, but the fact that you have that second line of defense, that you have him protecting your rim in that, like, hey, if you screw up, I can stay glued on Steph Curry. I can stay glued on Pajemski because he's also shooting well, on Buddy, whoever. It allows you to focus on that. So then whatever you do screw up is going to go to him, and it's going to be difficult.
Just tough too.
Yep.
To get those big rebounds, can clean up any mistakes, especially with like Sengun, and they were trying to hunt out mismatches on him the entire night too. So they go to it 4:27. Udoka pulls him like 2 seconds later. And I said to you, I'm like, that's a mistake. Because it's like, I know Steven Adams is not a good free throw shooter, but your team's not a good free throw shooting team. Like, look at tonight. Sengun missed 3. Brooks missed 2. Thompson missed 2. Jaylen Green, we didn't even talk about him yet. He missed 2. So it's like, I think Steven adds more. Like, fine. I want
He was a
Steven
game changer.
Let him get to the free throw line.
He was a game changer.
And you know what happens? If he goes on line and hits 2, Kerr's going to back off.
Yeah.
And so he puts Jabari Smith in, and I like Jabari Smith. I think he does some nice things defensively, but I felt like in this particular game, Steven Adams, they needed it in a big way, and they ended up going back to him late, but it felt like it was a little too late.
It just felt like they didn't need to take him out, like
Yep.
you're kind of saying. It felt like they should have just rode with it, but they didn't. And you think about that being a mistake. You think about, I guess just down the stretch of this game.
Well, the next mistake by Udoka and Brooks. Let's just go back 50. So they bring Adams back in the game. 58.1 to go. Jimmy Butler, late shot clock situation. Dylan Brooks is on him. Dylan Brooks, you see his left hand on Jimmy Butler as Jimmy rises up. And this is what Jimmy does. He's going to feel contact, and he's going to go up with it. He goes up, and the officials call a foul on a 3-point attempt in a tie game. It's 104-104 with 58.1, and Dylan Brooks, who did not need to do that, gets caught. So one, it was a bad decision by Dylan Brooks, just an awful foul that ends up putting Golden State up 3. But before that, Udoka decides to challenge it.
Yeah.
So you take a timeout to challenge a play that they're not going to overturn. And your point when we were watching was like, it was kind of a soft foul.
It was marginal contact.
Yeah.
And I just felt like depending on who it was, who the officiating crew was going to be, it was going to be one of those subjective plays. Like, I personally think, because of what we've seen all year long, that it is deemed a foul in the NBA. But at the same time, I've been wrong on different times depending on who it is. And I know refs would say like there's never any biases at all, but I mean, we're all human at the end of the day as well. So it was a soft foul, but Jimmy also knows how to sell fouls too, but it is truly deemed a foul in the NBA. So yeah, he deserved to go to the free throw line.
So right after that, Sengun comes down and scores quick. Man, he had some great finishes at the rim tonight. It made it 107-106 with 40.8 to go. After that play, let's see. Then we have to talk about the very end of the game.
That's which
right?
one I wanted to get to.
So Curry missed that jumper. Final possession of the game. 13.1.
That's what it was.
They're trying to get a couple of screens for Sengun to curl around and get the ball. They couldn't get it to him clean. They get it to Van Vliet. Van Vliet gets it to Sengun with Draymond on him. And it was almost predictable. You felt like you knew what the result was.
I thought he was going to get picked. So, because I felt like they were going to let Draymond be extra aggressive, which I didn't think he was. I thought he was like,
no,
fair,
Draymond
good
played
defense.
it well. It was great defense. I thought Sengun let him off the hook. I thought Sengun rushed the shot. I think, and look, he's a 22-year-old player. Okay, this guy is so freaking talented, and the fact that he was able to turn it on like he did in the stretches of the game, it was massive. It's why Houston had a chance. But I think he could have backed down Draymond a little bit more, and in that situation, get a little closer to the basket. If they do bring help, you still have. I know there's not a ton of time left, but I mean,
Wasn't even the time. Yeah.
Well, he rushed it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Jimmy got that rebound with 4 seconds to go. I just felt like they could have got a better look. He rushed it, and he does that sometimes. He did it tonight when he had Buddy Hield on him.
I was going to say, but how many of those did he miss all night? Well, I guess you could kind of look 12 of 28.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, there's so many of the hook shot, the push shot, the short range shot in the paint that he was missing. And so for him, after having such a great stretch without Draymond in there, and even with Draymond in there, like he had some nice moves to the basket, finishing at the rim. But I'm with you. I felt like he should have gone through his chest just one more time. Just push the, like,
You
he's
had
a
the time.
strong man.
You had the time.
And maybe even bait Draymond into a foul where you're not shooting it looking for the foul, but also the refs are cued in on Draymond and what he wants to do to you as well.
Yeah, he took that shot, Morgan, with 6.4 to go. He had time.
Yeah.
You know?
But maybe he just felt good. I don't know. Either way, it's tough because it's like you got a good look, but that was a good look we saw throughout this game for him where he just wasn't making that shot close enough to the rim. I felt like times in the paint. I didn't even feel like he was rushing it in some of the other times that he was missing it. It just felt like chaotic, or the way that it was coming off his hands. It wasn't like the focus wasn't there. With this shot specifically, I'm with you. Just like one more power dribble through Draymond's chest, getting a little bit closer. Maybe a defender comes on you. Maybe you get Draymond a foul. Again, we're saying that we're nitpicking like such a moment.
Yeah, but that's what you
But
do
he
at the
got
end
a
of a
good
playoff
look,
game.
is my point, though.
Yeah. He could have gotten a better one. Jimmy Butler then went in there and got a massive rebound.
He
with
did.
4 seconds to go. Goes to the free throw line, hits both, 109, 106. The look Van Vliet got at the end of the game, I mean, it was a look. I know he missed it, but for a guy that ends up, 8 of 12 from 3?
You gave your team a chance.
He had
you
no
gave your team a
timeouts.
chance. Yeah.
And then you got that look.
That was impressive. No, it was straight on. It ended up being an air ball though, right? Like straight on.
Yeah.
Either way though, he shouldn't. If you're Steve Kerr, you're probably a little upset at your team. Like, why is he getting such a great look at the end of a game like this?
So the Warriors end up winning 109-106. A few more things we got to talk about. Jaylen Green. And this is an issue, right? Like for a team that has trouble offensively at times. Jaylen Green was just a mess tonight on both ends.
Yeah.
And he ends up only playing 25 minutes in this game. He finished with 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting in this game.
Well,
and he had a bad foul on the perimeter. Was that on Buddy Hield, I think?
I think it was on Buddy.
He got backdoored at one point. It's just not locked in like he needed to be tonight. And then when he's not doing his job defensively and then offensively, he's not finding any type of rhythm. You know, Udoka's in a tough spot. He's like, I got to play Eason. I don't blame him. Like, I think Udoka's got a tough job sometimes because I'm like, I want to see more Eason out there. I want to see more Jabari Smith out there. I want to see more Adams.
But you also are hoping when you are putting someone out there like Green that you have someone that you can trust with the ball in his hands and that can create. And how many times are we looking at this offense and it was stagnant, right? And then when they did just simplify everything, really quick, when they did just simplify everything and just like someone would relocate to the corner, Alperen Sengun would dribble into the paint, find the open gap, give it up, get the spray to the wing would get it to the man in the corner. Like just these simple movements. And it was like, this is how you guys do it against this Warriors defense. But at times when you don't have those people out there, it just felt like things were getting a little choppy.
Jaylen also had 5 turnovers in 24 minutes.
Yikes.
5 turnovers.
Yikes.
So not a good night. And you're trying to win an important game 4 on the road.
Yeah.
You needed Jaylen to have a big night.
Yeah. And I think something that we didn't truly touch on too was like the beginning of the game and the officiating and just the choppiness of this game. The flow, it felt like just watching it as someone who just loves watching basketball, there was never any flow, right? And so I'm just like, okay, there's a lot of fouls being called. It's hard for players to get in their flow, but I really think it hurt the Warriors more in that first half because they wanted to push. They wanted to play fast.
Yep.
They didn't want to have to play against that setup defense of the Houston Rockets, and they just wanted to go. And so it screwed with them. It screwed with obviously some of their guys, getting them frustrated and everything, but they found a way to just like adjust in the second half. And I thought the flow of the game was much better as well.
Yeah, and their defense stepped up big time in the second half. Yeah, you're right. At the end of the first half, second quarter is when shit got really clunky because you had all like the drama, the Brooks, Curry, Green sequence, the Eason Green stuff. Even Butler and Brooks were John at the free throw line at one point. And this is the problem that the league is struggling with this right now. These player altercations, if you don't want to call it that, okay? No one threw a punch. There's no fighting. There has to be a more efficient way to review this. So we're not spending I don't know what the official time was, but it felt like each one of these reviews lasted 5 to 6 minutes of real time. This game was almost 3 hours long without it going to overtime. That's insane. And they think they overthink this shit. It's like, you know what? We had a little scuffle here. We play on, or hey, how about this double technicals?
Yep.
Instead, it's like, wait, let's see. Did he grab his jersey? Whoa, what was this? They're over analyzing it, and it completely killed the flow of this game.
Yeah, and it's like it never feels like it's going to be perfectly the right call, right? Like sometimes you get these games, you get these officiating crews, and it feels like that. But there's other times where it's just like, hey, you could have still missed something within the 3-person scuffle. Just do exactly what you're saying. It's like just
play, man.
Call it how it is. Have someone be mad later, and let's go. Because I think the like in time action, live action, whatever, like that's what matters most. Is like what's happened. The present moment is what matters most. Because later on, people are going to complain anyway. No matter what people complain.
I also think there's just like, for example, the first sequence where, okay, so Draymond like puts that great screen on Thompson and Thompson goes down. All right. And then Brooks decides he's going to step into Curry and foul him hard. Right.
And then Curry's like, that's two. That's two.
Okay. I think he went and grabbed the ball. You just let it go. Instead, Draymond had to put himself in there. But Draymond's like, I'm trying to have my teammates back.
Yeah.
I think you could have just gotten in there and broke it apart, and we could have just moved on for a second.
I think they were afraid too many times. I think the refs were like, and it's like
they did not have control.
No, and then that's what it was. They ultimately did not have control, and it's like, you know what? If Draymond is going to punch someone, let him punch someone. Yeah, no, and I say that one because he's done it before, but two, I say it because it's like then you're just tossing him. Like then that's it. Like there's nothing else you could have done except slow down the game like you did.
Well, and again, if you're going to go review it, like let's speed this shit up, okay?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a fast game. If you can't figure that out in 2 minutes. I saw the replay twice. I'm like, all right, give 3 technicals out and let's play. But instead, it's like, whoa, let's zoom in on that. What is happening here? Come on, man.
Whose foot hit whose head and what jersey was pulled?
Draymond, look, they were trying to bait Draymond, and I thought that's another thing the Rockets did a good job of in that first half. They were baiting Draymond and Steph, and it's like, you guys just have to have control. You are playing right into what Dillon Brooks wants you to do. You can't get suckered into that shit. And it really almost hurt the Warriors tonight that Draymond missed that much. I mean, he only played 11 minutes in the second half, so that was big. The points in paint, I know you mentioned it being plus 20 in favor of the Rockets.
Yeah.
But the inefficiency in the paint for the Rockets tonight, they were 49% in the paint. They were 24 of 49. I want to see what Sengun ended up being. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Sengun, 12 of 25 in the paint.
Yeah. It's not surprising. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't even feel like they were all necessarily right at the rim, but it was, like I said, it was in the short range.
Yeah.
It was like those hooks. It was a push shot. And even how many times was he having that open look near the high post at the free throw line? And it just felt like
he's not confident with it yet. And I think it's it's a frustrating part, I'm sure, for Rockets fans to watch, but also like you should be excited a little bit that the guy's 22 years old.
In the way that he can put the ball on the floor, do a spin move, and get to the rack. Like
these are the reps he needs. Like he is getting reps against Draymond Green, one of the better defenders, and this is only going to make him better in the long term. So that's what's exciting. And even Amen Thompson, like the guy continues to show what he does defensively, but seeing some of the stuff he can do offensively, and you see these glimpses every once in a while, like this guy is going to be special.
Do that.
He could be really, really good. So like you're down 3-1. Odds are stacked against you at this point. But I think there is still like excitement if I'm a Rockets fan about like the long-term prospects with this group.
Well, and if you're a Rockets fan and you get this next game, is that game 5? Yeah. So if you get game 5, like you're still feeling like there's a chance. But I think looking from the outside,
it's hard. It's hard to come back from 3-1.
And it's just when Steph Curry's on the other team, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's getting 17 points because the way he is just such a freaking threat out there. And how many times is he getting the ball even tonight and you and I are just going, oh my God, wait, no, you're not close enough. You're not close enough. Like you every time, like that is how you watch him. When you're watching him play, you're watching how someone is just a step behind or how they navigate a screen and, oh man, why didn't he take that shot? And he just, was having his off night. And when he's having one of those, you're getting lucky. But you got to do everything else right. You got to stop all the other guys. And when I say other guys, I'm talking about all the other guys, not just someone like Jimmy Butler, but someone like Pajemski as well.
Yeah. This one hurts if you're Houston.
Oh, yeah.
The last two, you're like, wait, we got a game without Jimmy, and then we had our chances in this one.
I know. Dude, we're going to have to start talking about who the Warriors are going to take on next in the second round of the playoffs. Who would have thought?
Minnesota, huh?
Who would have thought?
All right. Well, let us know what you're thinking about after this game tonight. Are the Rockets officially dead, or do you think that they can get back in this series? And with the Warriors right now, do they have a look of a team that maybe can come out of the West?
Oh.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay. But
I don't think I buy that.
Yeah.
But I think some people would because of the stuff you mentioned.
Fair enough.
Let us know in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.